It decided to work, I think. Okay, so here's what's been going on. The Today the president talked about how now, well, besides other things, he talked about how he was going to be auctioning off the airplanes and the helicopters and all that. But at some point during the conference, somebody mentioned that certain governors were refusing to honor the new law, the constitutional law that said that everyone in the Mexican country has access to free medical care, medications, education. But there's certain governors that were used to taking basically the money that was allotted for medical care, medications, supplies, equipment, hospitals. Many of them were used to basically, how shall we say, keeping the money for themselves, maybe diverting the funds somehow and buying homes in other countries, the US, big properties in Mexico for themselves, all kinds of stuff. But the president has made the money available to the hospitals and to the students and all that. The funds that are going to the elderly, the students, grants, retirement funds, all of that now goes directly to the people. But in the case of the medical care, what's happening is even though the president has allotted and given them the, how shall I say, the budget, they have refused to comply and sign an agreement that said that their people could have the the free medical care and all that. So basically, they continue to try to charge people, and so the people complained, and they brought it to his attention. So let me go ahead and let you see what the president had to say about this. Oh, and by the way, I'll translate it to English, okay? So here goes.
Aquí les adelanto que así como tenemos el quién es quién en los precios de combustible, cada semana vamos a tener un informe sobre el plan de salud pública.
Okay, so he says, I'm letting you know in advance, just like we have the who's who in gas prices, which, by the way, every Monday, the president has a who's who of what gas stations are charging the best prices, the highest prices in every area, like premium, unleaded, diesel, LP, which is that home gas in the little tank, all that stuff. So anyway, they have a who's who's doing the best, and then at a certain point they get awarded, or they get to put a banner saying that they got that they were named one of the best, the best prices for this many months, etc. But there's also those that were caught stealing. They had rakes, what they call rakes, where they skim a little off the top. And also there was some that had, well, there is all kinds of ways that they were ripping people off, maybe not giving liter per liter. The hoses were designed to not really give the amount. It was just all kinds of things. And some of them were just, maybe there could have been human error. There could have been injury to the pumps, or, so there maybe some of them were legit. But a lot of them were taken to they had judicial punishment, okay? So let's say that. It was legal, and there was fines, and there was lots of money collected in fines, by the way. Anyway, so the money they thought they were going to save, they wound up paying in fines. So also he was trying to encourage competition in gas prices and all that. So, and there's places that have only one gas station, so they're going to be encouraging people to apply for licenses to open up businesses, gas stations, and they're going to facilitate it for them so that there'll be healthy competition, because they don't want any monopolies. That's against the Constitution of the Mexican Constitution. They're not supposed to have monopolies. Okay, so the other thing is, he was saying that just like they do every Monday with the who's who on gas prices, they're going to be doing that with healthcare. So they're going to be naming names. Who exactly has been denying their people, their constituents, the right to free healthcare? Because voting is going to be coming pretty soon. I don't think they're going to want to be on that list. So let's see who wins this little tug of war. So anyway, here goes. So he says that he's going to be letting people know exactly what's going on in the who's who of medical care.
Un día a la semana.
Oh, one day a week.
Para que la gente nos ayude,
so that the people will help us to inform us
si hay médicos en los hospitales
if there's enough
o no.
If there's enough doctors in the hospitals or not.
¿Qué médicos faltan?
What doctors do we still need?
¿En qué hospitales?
What hospitals require these?
El abasto de medicinas.
Is there enough medications?
El estado de las instalaciones.
The state of the hospitals or medical facilities, the state of the facilities.
Y van a venir aquí.
And they'll be coming here, he said.
Los servidores públicos del sector salud.
So he's going to have the public servants that work in the public health sector. They're going to come to the conference.
Hasta el 1 de diciembre, ¿qué pensamos? Va a quedar ya establecido.
And so we believe, he says, that by December it will be established.
El sistema de salud.
The system for health care.
Público.
That's public.
De calidad.
High quality.
Y gratuito.
And free.
Y van a trabajar los servidores públicos. Ayer llegamos a este acuerdo.
And the public servants will work. And yesterday we came to this agreement.
24 horas.
24 hours.
Por turno.
Each turn or each shift.
O sea, no solo enfermeras, médicos por turno, sino los servidores públicos del sector salud.
But not only are they going to have doctors and nurses available 24 hours, also the public officials that are assigned to the healthcare services have to be available also for 24 hours a day.
Va a haber relevos para que tengamos atención 24 horas.
So he says they're going to have like a relay system where when one goes off, the other one comes on, so that they will always have 24-hour service of the public servants that are assigned to the healthcare area.
Y que logremos establecer la gratuidad.
So that we are able to offer the service free.
En los servicios de salud.
Related to the healthcare services.
Adelanto que se va hablar con los directores
I advanced that we're going to be talking to the
de los institutos de
directors
salud,
and the personnel of the institutes of health
because también en los institutos de salud
also in the health
el servicio va a
institutes
ser gratuito.
service will also be free.
Se les va a reponer
And they
lo
will
que
get
obtienen
refunded
por las cuotas
according to their
de
quotas.
cooperación, como se les llama.
Or quotas of cooperation is what they call them, he said.
No, en el caso de este plan también es voluntario.
He says this plan is voluntary.
Ya la mayoría de los
But the majority of the governors, state
han
governors,
suscrito
have already subscribed to
los
it,
convenios o están
are
dispuestos
disposed
suscribir los
or have
convenios.
already signed most of them.
Pasado mañana
But day after tomorrow,
se les va a presentar a ustedes el plan general.
we will present
Y se
the
les va a
general
informar quiénes
plan
ya
to you tomorrow.
suscribieron
And we will
los
inform you
convenios para que no haya
who has already subscribed to the convening, to the conventions that they are like the bylaws, who made an agreement, the pact to agree with to work with the confines of the new constitutional law. Okay.
especulación. El jueves
So on
vienen,
Thursday,
el secretario de Salud, el director del Seguro, el del ISSSTE.
so he said they'll be coming on Thursday, the director of health, the director of ISSSTE,
El director del Instituto de la Salud
the director of Institute for Health,
para el Bienestar,
for well-being,
todos,
all of them.
también, todos. Y aquí se da a conocer y ya se va a informar quiénes de los gobernadores hagan.
So at that time, they're going to be informing which of the governors are complying and which ones are not. He's going to basically say the who's who.
Aceptado y quienes han decidido no participar.
So he says who has signed and who has decided not to participate.
Y se va a respetar
And we will respect their decision.
la voluntad de los gobernadores. No
And he will respect the will of the governors.
es obligatorio, no es por la fuerza.
It is not obligatory and it is not by force.
Nosotros sí tenemos que cumplir lo que establece la Constitución.
But we do have to comply with what the Constitution says.
Y la nueva ley.
And the new law.
No podemos tener una Constitución que
So we cannot have a constitution
establece el derecho del pueblo a la salud.
that establishes the right of the people to health care.
Una ley que habla de la gratuidad.
A law that speaks of freeness of health care.
Y en la práctica no hacerlo.
But in practice, not do it?
Sería incumplir.
That would be non-compliance
con la legalidad.
with the law.
Entonces nosotros lo vamos a hacer. Y desde luego que va a costar.
And he said, and we are, of course, going to comply, and it will cost us.
No solo es un asunto económico.
But it's not only an economical matter.
Les diría que como no se permite la corrupción,
And I would say to you that because corruption is not permitted anymore,
vamos a ahorrar muchísimo en la compra de medicamentos, lo estamos haciendo.
we will be saving a lot when we purchase medications, and we're already doing that.
Pero sí se requiere de un cambio de mentalidad.
But it does require a change of mentality.
Se requiere de enfrentar inercias.
And it means confronting inertias,
Resistencias.
resistances.
Pero tenemos que garantizar
But we have to guarantee it.
que mejore
We have to guarantee that it gets better,
el sistema de salud pública.
the system of public health.
Bueno, y Miguel, también tengo muy en cuenta que no debemos de iniciar obras que no se vayan a terminar.
But also, I understand very clearly that I should not start work that I will not be able to finish. And he means during his 6-year term. And the reason he's saying this is because somebody before this had asked him, you're taking on a lot of work. Is it possible that you're taking on too much and you're not going to be able to finish? And so this is his response to that question.
Entonces, traigo esa presión.
And he says, and I do have that pressure.
Aquí volvemos a lo mismo.
So here we go back to the same thing.
Nos ha ayudado mucho la Secretaría de Defensa.
And the Secretary of Defense has helped us a lot.
Estoy seguro que vamos a terminar el aeropuerto.
But I am sure we are going to finish the airport.
El 21 de marzo del 2022.
On the 21st of March in the year 2022.
Y resolvemos el problema de la saturación del actual aeropuerto.
And we
¿Qué
will,
es la saturación del actual aeropuerto?
and he says, and we will resolve the problem of the actual saturation or the saturation of the actual airport, which he's saying they plan to resolve this problem. Okay, give me just a moment. I'm trying to fix something here. Kind of hard to do. Let me see. Okay. And I'll move it over a tad because I feel like the picture is just way too small. So I'm going to make it a little bit bigger. Sorry guys, it's a little annoying, but my picture seems to be not cooperating here. Oh my gosh. Okay, this is stuff I hate. Okay, there it is. We'll just leave it like that, I think. We'll just make it smaller. One moment, excuse me, just a little moment, because it's driving me bananas. Okay. There's not a lot of control here. Oh, jeez. Okay. There it is. All right, let's go to transition and no more Okay.
También fue provocada
But he said it was also provoked
porque se dejó de dar el servicio
because we stopped giving the service. Excuse me just a moment. All right. There we go.
en Toluca.
Oh, in Toluca.
Hubo toda una campaña.
He said they had a total campaign.
Y hasta por micrófono, por las bocinas de los aviones, se decía, hay demora porque ya es mucho el tráfico aéreo.
So he said on the when they were sometimes in the airplane that they would hear the personnel of the airplane say that there was delays because there was too much saturation in the airport.
Pues sí, porque cerraron, Toluca tenía posibilidad
And so yes, because they closed Toluca airport.
de transportar, tiene.
Okay, so they're changing the topic here. So we'll go ahead and make a different video about this topic because actually this is more about the airport stuff, which was also very interesting. But let me see.
Toluca.
Because
hacer un problema. Y no olviden, se terminaba Texcoco.
So this was where they wanted to build a airport in the middle of some boggy land in a lake. They tried to dry up the lake, but it was still sinking, and they were going to be paying themselves a few $1 million. Some people that they gave contracts to, well, a lot of money to keep it from sinking every year, which it was sinking about a meter, which means 3 feet every year. And imagine the airplanes landing on that boggy soil that was covered now with cement. It was just a catastrophe waiting to happen. But what they intended to do was their intention, according to what the president said here, was that they wanted to close up the airport and turn it into like a little Santa Fe, like a bunch of little stores. And so they had already planned to make money that way and convert the airport, which was the property of the government, into something that was private for themselves. And, they were like buying the rights to put their businesses in there. So they had already planned this. So they dried up a lake, killed a bunch of flora and fauna, destroyed a few mountains trying to fill it in, displaced a bunch of people off their land so that they could, get it for themselves and make money when they sold it back to the government. There was all kinds of illegal trickery going on there. But anyway, they were able to finally beat them, and it is in progress. And so that should be done as well, which is very good because the way they had designed the other airport, it was designed so that the planes, if they would have put the airport where they planned to, it was designed so that they would not be able to run the other airport because it would crash. The planes would crash if they took off from the runway at the other place. So they basically were trying to make it impossible for the other airport to run. So what he did was he actually is using the existing airport and the naval airport that was there, and they merged them together, and so now there's going to be extra runways, and the other airport will continue to run too, and the Toluca one. So there's going to be like 3 airports instead of having just 3 runways. They're going to have a bunch more. So it's going to be really wonderful for the airlines and the people to get better deals. You know, there's going to be a lot more places to land, less risks of injury and plane crashes and all that. But anyway, so this was a very interesting video to me, because he talked about how he's going to put them on blast. All these governors that are bent on continuing to rip off the funds that belong to the people and denying them their rights to education and medical care. Oh, and that's the other thing. They're also trying to not allow the funds to go to the students so that they can later try and say the funds came from them. So they're blocking the scholarships and the funds that are supposed to be going to the students. So there's a lot of corrupt officials that are still in office, but they're going to be put on blast. And if they want to have a chance at staying in government, although it's probably not as much fun for them anymore, because they were so used to just being able to steal hand over fist, and now it's going to be a lot harder. And if they get caught doing it, it's considered a grave crime, and they would go to jail without right to bail while they're being processed. There's already a few officials that are incarcerated that were not allowed to have bail, while they wait. So there's a lot of good things happening in Mexico, and oh gosh, it would be nice if it could happen here too, but fat chance. We're not really a democracy. We're more of a plutocracy. The rich people govern. So anyway, what can we do? See you later. Bye.